The Country on 99.7 and 101.1. Today's New Country. I am Lacey Ray, and I am so excited. We are in our last and final Wednesday here, and that means we are Thinking Pink with Fred F. Collis and Sons. And for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we are bringing and Thinking Pink all month long by having different breast cancer survivors come in studio with me. And I'm so excited to have Diane call in with me. Good morning. How are you?
I'm great.
You're great, and I love, okay, we have a personal connection, me and you. We've known each other for quite a while. I'm good friends with your daughter, and by association, good friends with you, right?
Yes.
And for you, when I heard the news, I remember thinking, oh no, what are we going to do? What's going to go down? And I guess for you and this journey of going through breast cancer, what was it for you and where did it start?
It started after a mammogram on February 9th, after 3 years of not having one because of COVID.
Right.
And the tech said, you need more pictures. And I was like, okay. And that had never happened before.
Right.
And then after the second set of pictures, the doctor herself came out and said, I still don't like what I'm seeing. There's something different, and we need a ultrasound.
Yeah.
And it has to be the next day. I'm like,
Oh,
okay,
boy.
this is
Okay.
getting serious now.
Right.
So we had that done the next day, the 10th. And then I went, I opted to go to Oneida Health and saw Dr. Greco,
Yep.
which was a great experience. Question of, do I have a mastectomy? And she said, no, you don't need one. It's curable, it's treatable. That's
That's
too
just-
extreme.
Right.
So, okay. And in between all that, I also had a biopsy done.
Right.
That was done February 23rd. So March 1st was the first appointment with the surgeon, and March 23rd was my surgery. The information was not given correctly.
Yeah.
And the tumor was larger than they thought. And there was also one in the lymph nodes.
Wow. So yeah, it just kept coming.
Correct. And then I decided to go to the Mayo Clinic.
Yes.
Because I have a connection there,
Yeah.
as well as being a patient already there in Rochester, Minnesota. And an MRI was done, and they found cancer in the right breast as well.
Yeah.
And the margins were supposed to be cleaned out of the left because it was larger than they thought. And I opted, once I got to the Mayo Clinic and saw what was going on, I said, okay, I'm done with this. I have a grandson to raise
Right.
and
Right.
to see grow up. And I said, I am not dealing with this in another 5 years, another 10 years. I just want them off. So I had a double mastectomy May 2nd.
And this all happened this year.
Correct.
And I think it's important to note, because of COVID, you hadn't been going to your normal appointments.
Right.
But before that, were you going on a
Every
regular
year.
basis? Okay, so every year.
Every year.
And do you have a history of it in your family?
Nope.
So, and that's the craziest part, is in 3 years, what happened and what they found. And now, like you said, you've got a grandson and you've got daughters. And now this is something that's really important to note and make sure your family is taken care of.
Right. And I did the gene testing, and thank God I don't carry the genes, so my girls don't have to worry about that.
Right, right.
But have your mammograms, people.
That's like your biggest takeaway for sure, right?
Totally.
And, my mom also fell into the same thing of not going because of COVID. Nobody was doing anything. And it's just so important to note that just because you feel like you're okay, and you can do your monthly checks at home, and that's something you should also be doing as well. But you just never know. And I think it's important, if you don't feel right, to go. Because like you said, they just kept saying, oh, we need more pictures.
Well, they said I wouldn't even have felt it.
No?
No, it was not a lump that I could feel.
That's even...
I would never have found it.
Yeah.
And it's just frightening to me that the tumors from 2019 to 2023
Yeah.
had grown to the size that they had grown to.
Yeah.
And I'm very blessed. I'm very lucky.
Yes.
And it's been, and then I had radiation as well. After the mastectomy, I had radiation in Rochester, New York.
Yeah.
I opted to stay closer to home.
Yeah, right. And for you, now that you are a part of this sea of pink that now is your journey and now you are a part of, did you have anybody else you could talk to about it that you could relate to at the time?
Personally?
Yes.
Just Noelle.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Noelle's mom.
Mm-hmm.
It runs in her family, and
Did you feel anything about talking about like with them? Did it help you kind of go through it? Or did you have a really great support system as
I
well?
had a great support
Yeah.
system. I have a tribe.
Mm-hmm.
Of
Yes, you
people,
do. Uh-huh.
A whole tribe of people. I'm so lucky.
Yeah.
Between my husband, my kids, and my friends that surrounded me and checked in with me every day. And the hardest part was they were saying, what happens next? And I was like, I don't know. I don't have all the information yet.
Right.
I had to keep saying, I don't have all the information yet.
Right, right.
So it was very difficult to know what was happening next until it actually happened.
Yeah, right. I mean, I was so excited to see you ring the bell. And I was so happy to hear that you were like, this is what we're going to do. And you stayed very positive
I did.
through the whole experience. And it's because I feel like you were fighting not only for yourself, but for your family.
I was.
you were going to be here, and that's just that. And for you, this is the first year that you've ever been a part of making strides against breast cancer.
Yes.
And is it something now that you want to potentially do every single year?
I believe so.
Yeah. Rock the pink, and we're thinking pink. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing your story.
Thanks.
Appreciate it so very much. And your one little tidbit, the one piece of knowledge that you hope that somebody gets out of this is what?
Get your mammograms.
Get those mammograms. We are thinking pink. It's Think Pink with Fred F. Collis and Sons
and Bug Country.